When I was in my 20s and 30s, there was one verse in the Bible that I thought was a big fat lie. You want to know? Let's talk about it.
Like being single sucks.
Hello, I'm Lorraine Edwards, co-founder of A Single Mission. We are a business ministry that exists to engage, encourage, and empower single women to embrace their singleness, walk in their purpose, and prepare for the partner they desire. Today, I'm going to talk about my singleness story. We've talked about many topics on our YouTube channel and in our lives. And while we're on hiatus, I'm going to share some other things that let you know that I know the journey that you're walking in. I'm not just talking about you from a distance. I'm in that place, or I have been in that place at some point. So Psalm 84:11 says, "The Lord God is a sun and shield. The Lord will give grace and glory. No good thing will he withhold from them who walk uprightly." But like I said, I used to think that verse was a lie. Why? I'll tell you why. Because I was single, I wanted to be married, and God was withholding that from me. The Lord is the sun. He wasn't shining on me. The Lord is the shield. Yeah, right. Not only was he not protecting my heart, but he was the one breaking it by ignoring my heartfelt prayers for a partner. I was walking uprightly. I wasn't perfect, but I was walking with him, ministering in the church, living sexually pure. Yeah, I had turned around and was walking with him. And what thanks did I get for that? Yeah, loneliness and heartbreak. So at 40, I realized I would never have children and probably never have the partner that I really long for. And can I tell you a secret? At that milestone, I had a meltdown. That's right. I sunk into a functional depression. I was still working, still ministering, still laughing. I was single. I still had to pay the bills. But emotionally, dying on the inside, angry at God, and though not suicidal necessarily, but comfortable with the idea of my life being over because, frankly, without a husband or a hope of one, I kind of thought it was over. But in that darkness, God shone light on that very verse that I thought was a lie. He began to show me the many ways and times that he had shielded my heart from some joker who was leading me astray from the purpose that he was about to reveal to me. He helped me recall where his grace and glory were all over my life. And finally, he gave me evidence that although marriage is good because he created it, it was not good for me and the plans he had for me at that time. In Isaiah 55:9, God says, "For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." God said, "I will not withhold what is good for you from you if you walk with me." And then he pulled me from depression to mission. He allowed me to speak at my first singles event in 2014. In 2013, I was there as just a participant. And my friend told the director that he should ask me to speak at the next one. And he did, for whatever reason, I do not know. God was the reason. Now, I had zero experience and I had no topics I had ever spoken on in this area. I had preached a couple of sermons in my life, but that was it. And I had to speak 6 times at that weekend. But I was single And I knew what I had been missing from all of the single ministry programs that I had ever been to. You know what I'm talking about. They're lame. Lame. God poured into me in a way that I had never experienced before. And I ended up with 6 presentations that got rave reviews and garnered me many other invitations to speak at singles event. But that was all God. People told me their stories of loneliness, sin, loss of a spouse, and the struggles that they didn't share with anyone else. And why? They connected with me because I was one of them. In many of those singles ministries, married people are talking to them, so they don't really have the same experience. I had similar fears, challenges, and loneliness of being single, especially in a faith community. Faith communities are really lame with their single ministries. My first opportunity to experience walking in my purpose was because I was in a place that I wouldn't have been if I had been married. God knew what was good for me because he knew the plan he had for me. He later showed me how he had literally been preparing me for this ministry since I was 9 years old, as I devoured books on relationships, courtship, marriage, parenting. I counseled people. People were always asking me about their relationships. He knew there would be a YouTube, but we didn't know that. He created me to minister to other single women, to help them embrace their singleness, enjoy it, walk in their purpose, and prepare effectively for the partner that they desire. We want a partner, but we aren't usually prepared for that. There's many things that we should be doing before we get to marriage to be better prepared for it, to be good wives, to be godly wives. And most of us haven't done any of that work, but we want the thing. We want the thing. And I was like that too until God started doing the work in me. Now, I don't know what his ultimate plans are or if I will ever marry, but one thing I do know is that I was created for a single mission. And let me tell you, if you never owned a business or tried to start a business, it's a struggle. And it has been ugly and painful and frustrating and angering. And I had to force myself to keep my focus on the knowledge that since he brought me here, he will bring me through. That has not been easy. Things have blown up around me, like not in a good way, like imploding. And I'm just like, Lord, what are you doing? Like, I thought this was the reason that I wasn't married, so I could do this ministry effectively and with more passion and with more connection, and now it's not even working. I made myself like focus on him because I knew this was the area that I was supposed to be in. And I knew that if I took my focus off him, I would start looking at the troubles and I would try to take things into my own hands, which I did. And I messed it up and delayed the breakthrough or lose the point. I did all of that. But then I came back to it. I came back to it because I knew it was the thing. You are here because God has a plan for you too. Not a plan about singleness only, a plan for your life. So what do you need to do to see it come to fruition? Number one, you need to believe that that's true. Like, I was not believing, and so God was having to bring me back to that. Numbers 23:19 says, God is not a man that he should lie, nor a son of man that he should repent. Has he said, and will he not do? Or has he spoken, and will he not make it good? Believe him and stand on his word. I am telling you that you can believe him. And this is after a long time of not fully believing him. That's why I can tell you that. He put the fire of that dream inside of you. He is not going to extinguish it with deferred hope. It may be delayed, but not denied. God is like a divine arsonist, and arsonists don't put out fires until they accomplish the purpose that they have. So if he sparked that fire in you, he will set it ablaze to accomplish the work he designed for it. Number 2, recognize that he will not withhold what is good for you. But what we have to stop doing is defining good based on what God gives other people, but rather based on what God has planned for us, and say, God, what do you plan for me? And he will show you what is good. He will take you to what is good for you. Sun is good, but if you are battling skin cancer, it is not good for you. Tomatoes are good, but if you have arthritis, they are not good for you. Sex is good, but if you are single, it is not good for you. It may be good to you, but it ain't good for you. Marriage is good, but if it keeps you from God's ultimate plan, it is not good for you. All the things that are good for you, you will receive at the right time if you keep walking with him. Number 3, keep your eyes focused on the target. And the target is not marriage. The target is your purpose. In his book, Get Unrealistic, W. Snell says that a good quarterback is one who trusts his protection, so he stays in the pocket and keeps his eye on the target. He feels the rush of the defense, but he doesn't get distracted by them because he keeps his eyes on the target. God is our protection from the rush of the enemy trying to distract us from the goal and steal our purpose. He's trying to make us feel like God has forgotten us because we aren't married. He's trying to make us feel that we're not good enough because we're not married. He's trying to distract us by saying, look at your friend. She's getting married. She ain't even been faithful to God like you have. And all of that is just to distract us because he knows God has a purpose for us that's going to crush him. And we don't need to deny our feelings or pretend everything's good. I love being single. Yay. We don't have to do that. But what we need to learn to do is feel that rush, but not get distracted from the target by looking at the rush. If you've seen a football game, you see the quarterback. He never looks at the rush. He's looking down the field. Feel the rush, but keep your focus. Feel the rush of financial lack, but keep your focus. Feel the rush of sexual temptation, but keep your focus. Feel a rush of loneliness, but keep your focus. Feel the rush of marriage delayed, but keep your focus. Feel the rush, but keep your focus. And in due time, all that is true, all that is good for you, and all that God has purposed will come to fruition. I promise you. I promise you. I'm seeing God right now open doors that I didn't even know the doors were there, let alone did they need to be open, because I got my focus back. I was looking over here and doing this and trying to do that and trying to do all these different things that he ain't tell me to do. And he's gracious and merciful. He's not angry at you. He's not angry at me. But he's like, I need you to refocus. Like, get your focus. I'm not going to open the door until you keep your focus. So part of what we need to do is some of us need to focus even on not just our purpose, but are we even marriage material? Are we even ready to be married? Well, some of you know, but if you don't know, we're having a preparing for the partner you desire single women's retreat. That is coming up in about a month, May 12th through 14th. I want you there. You need to be there. We spend money and time on all these different things like material stuff that doesn't do anything for us. We need to invest money in growing, in becoming, in becoming all that God has called us to be. I'm going to put the link in the description so you can register for the retreat. In the meantime, keep your focus. Feel the rush. Feel the rush of that loneliness. I get you. I hear you. I feel the rush of that sexual temptation. I hear you. But keep your focus. I will see you next time. And until next time, make choices that will help you live, love, and marry wiser. God bless you.